5 times more valuable than Instagram, and an Instagram one's like 10 times more valuable than a TikTok one.
Consistency is key. So you really have to figure out how much time and effort you want to put into social media.
Most people say leads. That's what they want, is those people who are moving soon and they just call everything else crappy.
Really get to know your ideal client and then just think, what do they want to know more about? What do they want to see? And go deep into that. Social is a skill that you build. It's not just like a you're good or you're bad at it. It really is a skill.
How often should I post on social? That's probably like one of the other most common questions we get. Welcome, everyone. Um, as you can see, it is not Taylor again. So this is the second time. So he wasn't able to make it today. So I made Jen jump on. Um, and hello. So she was really excited about it. Um, so, and apologies if I look a little rough. I got off the plane and came straight here. My plane landed at 12:30. And I made it here in time to Newmarket to record. But what we're gonna do today, we're gonna take questions a lot of times. So we did actually go to a few people and ask to submit some questions to us. But you guys can also submit questions. If you don't want us to use your name, submit the question in the Q&A. If you would like to, if you don't care if people know what you're asking, you can put it in the chat. If well, in the chat, you can also select hosts and panelists or just everyone. I mean, I'd prefer everyone, but I get it. Not everyone wants to do that. So we'll just really start kind of going through the questions we're getting. And then next week we do have Taylor back. And then we'll back to your regular scheduled programming, basically.
Welcome, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't miss me.
I
I
got
know
good reviews from you last week. People were happy.
that. See, we listened to you.
Yeah, brought you back.
Heck, you're welcome.
Sorry. First question, which is, I mean, this is I find this question funny because like it's probably one of the most common ones we get.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of like the least interesting.
We don't have much to say about it.
Yeah. So the question that got submitted, which we always do, and I know people have this question. It's which social media platforms are best for real estate marketing? Um, there's like the classic marketing answer of it depends, which the it depends is basically how much where your clients are, right? Like if you're going after a specific demographic and they're on a platform, you go to that platform wherever they are.
Yep.
Um, the simpler answer is Instagram. Like that's where
Yep.
the best results are right now for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, and I also don't count YouTube as social media. It's just media.
Yep.
But like a YouTube subscriber is the most valuable of any of the platforms. So like if you can get YouTube subscribers, I'd say it's like 5 times more valuable than Instagram, and an Instagram one's like 10 times more valuable than a TikTok one. So yeah, like short answer is Instagram is the best one.
Yeah.
The official marketing answer where I hedge is wherever your clients are is where you should be, but most of
Yeah.
them are on Instagram. So
That's the
but
thing,
there are
right?
exceptions to that. Like, and one of the big things, like I see this all the time, is actually this came up in Calgary when I was there at the so I was at the Royal LePage event this week in Calgary. That's where I just flew in from. Um, is there we're all like, I don't want to go on TikTok because it's all like a bunch of little kids and stuff. But if you actually go look at the demographics, like the official stats that are out there for it, um, over 50% is 30 and up,
Hmm.
and like pretty good household income on average too. Uh,
Yeah, and also keeping in mind that TikTok is they really read what you engage with. So like if I go on TikTok, I am seeing zero kids. Like the only kids I'm seeing is if like parents are showing something their kid did. Like it's not the TikTok dances and the this and
yeah,
that. Like they really go for what you're looking into. So you can reach a specific audience that's looking into the kind of stuff that you're posting.
no. I
But
like this anonymous question, which looking at the list of who's here, I'm pretty sure I know who asked it. I'd like to know how much alcohol Andrew consumed in Calgary. Not that
Mm.
much, actually. I mean, I definitely consumed some. I'd be lying. Some brokers took me out some pretty nice dinners, and they included old fashions. And if you know me, you know I like a good old fashioned.
You
So I
do.
had more than one most nights, but I was not hungover once. So That's a pretty good indication of how much I drank. I drank enough to not be hungover ever, which is unusual for real estate conferences, I know. um,
Feel like you reach a certain age that the hangover is just not worth the night before. Like it just lasts too long. You gotta be smart.
yeah, I may have ghosted a few times because I do that. If you know me at conferences, I will just leave and not say anything. Um, Mainly because then you get pulled into shots and things like that, and I just you get credited for being there longer if you just leave without saying anything.
Fair
Pro
enough.
tip. Pro tip of someone who ghosts a lot,
Frozen.
you get credit for an extra hour.
Fair
All
enough.
right. All right, let's go next up. How often should I post on social? That's probably like one of the other most common questions we get. Like that is a
Mhm.
very common question we
Yeah,
get.
because people want to know how much time they have to put into this.
So my answer, then I'll get your answer. I have mine, which because I just talked to this about people is like there's the depending on your strategy. So if you want to like get new clients from social, it's daily.
Hmm.
If you want to do what I call like a brochure presence, where it's like I'm not trying to get clients from it, but if someone looks me up, I look professional and I it helps their decision to hire me. So it's only people who've already heard of me and they're looking me up.
Your storefront looks nice.
Yeah, like once a week, couple times a month type of thing. Like you can do that. Like I'd say like you'd probably want to do 2 to 4 posts a month
Hmm.
and then your listings.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense to
If
me.
you're doing a brochure presence. If you want to get new clients from social, you kind of got to commit to like saying you'd commit to how much time you spend cold calling or door knocking, right?
Hmm.
Like you got to commit to doing social.
Yeah, and just like those things, social is a skill that you build. It's not just like a you're good or you're bad at it. It really is a skill. So like if you want leads from social media, but that sounds crazy, posting every day, so time consuming, that's cool. Start with three, get used to it,
Yeah.
get that muscle moving, because like Andrew will say, like when he started, it would take him like 20 some minutes to just like do like a get on, do a quick reel. Now he's got it down to 7 minutes. So he
Yeah.
just pops on in the morning, done
Yeah.
post, you're done for the day. Not everything has to be like a fully planned out, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what's going on? But then also, if you just sit down at the beginning of the month or before the month starts and just plan out some evergreen content that you can have, and then just on top of that, do what's happening, like listings or what's happening in the moment. Like it's a muscle that you
Yeah.
work out. It gets easier and faster.
I love this question. Which brokerage is better in terms of Remax, CAR, etc.? If you're not from Calgary, Calgary CAR is a Calgary brokerage. They're actually pretty big there. Like I think I don't know if they're over 1,000, but like they're one of the, if not the biggest independent one in there. So I mean, I'm obviously not going to be like, yeah, definitely here, but like Remax, I worked there. I've worked a lot with other brands too. It's not necessarily the brand, it's who's the broker at that office. Like
Mm,
I've been in hundreds of brokerages and I've seen great brokerages at brands and some not so great ones. And it's literally just who's in charge, who's the leadership. So like, yeah, there's advantages from one brand to the other. Sometimes like the community's slightly different. Like the vibe at the Royal LePage conference is different than the vibe at other conferences. Which one, fits better with you is something to consider. But from a day-to-day perspective in your business, it's who's your manager, what's the leadership like, what's the culture, and that's going to change a lot brokerage to brokerage. So I would say you can't really say, I mean, I don't know enough to say much about CAR because outside of I know who they are, I don't know much about them. So I can't like compare what they offer versus Remax.
yeah.
Where do you
So she,
start when you're brand spanking new? Ooh.
yeah.
Um,
Question.
so I'd say I mean if I could go back knowing what I know now, I would not join a team. Like in the sense of because I wouldn't need that support because I know enough now to do it on my own. But
Right.
if I could go back to who I would tell myself back then, I would have said join a team and learn the business better. Because like what you learn in licensing, you do not know how to make this business successful. You like licensing, and because Jen, you haven't done the licensing stuff, so you know this. All licensing courses really do is teach you how not to get sued. Like
I
that's
mean,
essentially like it's a oversimplification, but you're essentially just learning how not to get sued or how to get your clients sued, that type of thing. Um, but I would say like I would find a local high performing team regard. Like I'd look up the top ones. Yeah. Join a good team. Yeah, like interview them, like ask how they're going to support you. How are they going to help you get clients? How are they going to teach you about it? Like those are very important things. Like you want to be able to see like how they run the day to day. Like you want to see like how it actually operates on the business side. Like Craig, who mentioned like join a good team, like we were having a mastermind recently where like we talked about margin, right? Like how much margin do they make? Like is that like, and how many people have no idea what theirs are, like how much profit they make? Like
Mhm.
if you can work for a team and see how they do that and like be let into like how the team operates, how the systems work and how what it takes to be successful, that is worth more. Like even if it's a temporary setback and you're not taking 100% of the commission, I would 100% say if you're starting out, especially if you aren't sure what the best route is, find a good team locally, and do it from there. So that would be my advice. Like I would just find a good one. If you're not sure, literally just go call up a couple of the brokerages and be like, "Do you have any teams looking for people?"
Yeah.
Um, it's not hard. Or I mean, if you really want to have some fun with it and get inundated with DMs, go into one of the realtor Facebook groups and be like, "Hey, I'm looking to join a team or brokerage." And
Mm.
then you'll have to sift through a lot of recruiting, but you might be able to find a good team or two. The
But
other
that's interesting
would
'cause I'd
be
be curious to see like how they would reach out to me. Like if I was to do the post, like what would be their little pitch, right? Their little like quick social media pitch. I feel like that's a
if
good
you wanted
place.
to do it a little more cleverly,
Mm.
and find a good team as a new person, reach out to coaches for teams. So your Kathleen Blacks, your Craig Proctors, your Marianne Gillespies, your Jess Nouvelles, like those people who mostly coach teams, and ask them if they have a team in the area you live. That'd be good joining. That might be a pretty good way to do it. But yeah, it's all about kind of what works for you, all that fun stuff. But that's what I would do.
I think
If I
you
could
asked
talk to
a lot of
myself
questions.
back then, I would
Yeah.
say I should have joined a team because it took me, I spent so much money and time trying to figure things out that I could have just jumped right in.
Someone else has already figured out. That's
Yeah.
a really good
Like
point.
real estate is not that complicated of a business. Like it takes work and like it's a lot of work, but like all the different ways to build a business pretty much have been tried. Someone has answers, and for the most part, you can reach out to most realtors, and most of them will tell you what they do and how to do it. Like the amount, like even when I was selling, like I would ask people in my office who are more successful, like step by step, how to do it and like exactly how they're doing it and how I could then replicate it. And they'd all just give it to me. Like they'd give you the playbook. And
Mm.
I most people when they get to a certain level kind of realize you can give it to everybody. It might be this much that ever actually do anything with it.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean it's like when we do training, like we know if we have 200 people on a training, maybe 10 will take regular action on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
all right, what is the next question there? What
What?
type of content? Oh, you want to read? Go for it.
Oh, like go for it. You're in
All
the zone.
right. I am. Uh, what type of content should I share to attract potential buyers or sellers? Um, so I mean, there's more clarification on that. Content's a very vague term.
Hmm.
A lot of things fall into content. Like if we're saying ad campaigns, you just gotta get something they care about. So like the easiest way right now is a list of homes campaign, to attract both buyers and sellers because it's a very obvious buyer ad. But if you get a list of homes that is a type of sell, like a type of home that someone need to sell their current home to buy that, then you kind of get seller leads out of it too. So that's kind of like that. And then otherwise, if you want to attract people, you got to know who they are. So like buyers or sellers is too vague.
Yeah.
Like you have to know, is it first time buyers? Like actually when I was in Calgary, we were auditing someone's social and their profile said like helping people invest in real estate. And then the next question on our audit was, who's your ideal client? And she said first time buyers. And I'm like, but your whole profile is speaking to investors. She realized
Yeah.
she had to go and like switch it all up.
Gotta-
And that's common, right? Like
Mhm.
so niche down, especially earlier on, and then just solve their pain points.
Yeah, like really, really, especially for organic social media, because there's so much out there, so much noise. Really get to know your ideal client and then just think, what do they want to know more about? What do they want to see? And go deep into that content.
Yeah.
And it could be, and depends on the type of client, depends on the generation. So like older generations, like if you're looking at boomers above that, even Gen X a little bit, I find they're very much more don't care so much about your personality. We just want to know that you're going to sell and you're going to, show me the numbers. Whereas, like my generation below, obviously, I want the numbers. I want to know that you're going to actually do a good job, but I want to know that we're going to connect, that it's not like a little like less formal, if that makes sense. So, depending on your client, depending on what they look for in a realtor, is going to change the type of content that you do. Keeping that in mind,
Truth.
right?
Yeah. Then you figure out the platform from there. Really, it all starts at know who your ideal client is.
I every time.
Everything falls into place and gets easier after that. But
Which
like,
platforms you use, how often you should post, what you should post, who's your client? Who's
yeah,
your client?
all comes back to knowing your client. You know what we should do is try and get a guest on whose like specialty is helping people pick niches.
That's a good one.
We just gotta figure out who that would
We don't
be.
see that everywhere. Yeah, we
I
got to
don't
find the
know of
person.
any like specific expert on picking niches.
We'll do.
Uh, we could find people who like just do pick who like have picked a niche in the product. Anyways, solvable thing. That's a me problem.
Could be.
We'll figure it out.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. All
Got
right.
your
Next
time
one.
in
How
the
could I grow my social organically? So, a clarification is that organically, like I want my just follower count to be higher?
I think it's just not using ads.
No. Um, put out good content that resonates with your ideal people. But the how I would do it is collaborate with other people locally. So like if we're working with a like in a small town, like I'm going to just use Newmarket as an example because then I can use specific examples. I would
Mhm.
look at which accounts here in Newmarket are very active on social. So like just because I know the guys well behind them, like there's a bakery in town called Nutmeg that's very active on social, a lot of engagement. There's a CrossFit here called CrossFit Newmarket Central. They're also very active and have a very engaged audience. I would just approach both the owners of those companies to do a reel with me,
Mhm.
have them as collaborators so I can get in front of their audience.
Yeah.
Uh, because like we kind of would share a lot of the same potential clientele. So I would do that to get in front of them with a reason that they'd also want to follow.
Yeah, and start conversations, engage. Like if you want your following to grow or whatever, engagement, whatever it is you want to grow, you
Yeah.
need to start conversations and not just wait for people to comment on your stuff or send you a DM. So like those two places he just mentioned, not only do that reel and collaborate like that, go on their account, engage with it, talk to people in the comments.
Mhm.
Like the workout one, oh my God, I just did a workout there. It hurts so much. Then Andrew can go, yeah, me too. Awful terrible place, but we're very grateful for it. Whatever. Like,
That's a great conversation. Great
thank
impression
you.
of me and everything. Yeah.
I am amazing at networking.
Yeah. It is your superpower. People.
It's so good. People love me. I love people.
I
It's a
love being
whole
out
thing.
there.
Anywho, we have a question. What website providers are best for creating funnels?
Um, so there's a bunch of them. If well, I mean, you got your classic just straight funnel builders. So you'd have your click funnels. We use lead pages when we just need a quick landing page. I just like the builder better than ClickFunnels personally in lead pages. Then you have Unbounce, which is pretty good. High Level is the one that's kind of stealing a lot of the ClickFunnels people over there, client wise. Um, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like they all have these little features. They all kind of do the same base stuff. So I would just kind of do a trial on them and see which one you like building better in if you're building it yourself. It's just test them out. Like I've always found lead pages to be the most user friendly for me. But at this point, I've also been using it for 10 years. So one of the others
Right.
might actually be better. I'm just so much more comfortable on lead pages. It's not worth the pain of switching for maybe a slightly better experience when I'm already so comfortable there. Um, so I personally use lead pages for funnels. But I also don't do like we don't really set up funnels like we used to, right? Like we do a little bit like single landing pages type of thing, but we don't do the really like I've been really focused on like simplifying as much as possible and not doing these long convoluted funnels because it's
Yeah.
just the more complexity you add, the harder it is to scale things up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't do that as much as we used to.
You don't
Uh,
like when it's not simple.
yeah, keep it
Should.
simple. Everything is about simplifying.
Yeah.
Should I use paid advertising on social and how much for budget? Okay. Um, yes, and the classic, it depends. Um,
People, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
as a like, if I'm giving you people like rough rule of thumb for any campaign you want to run, we say to budget $10 a day, which is 300 a month, roughly.
Mhm.
But like, if you're just someone who creates a lot of reels, for example, and content, you could do like a $2 a day budget that just retargets your reels to your followers just to make, boost their views up a little bit and keep you top of mind with people. And that's a really easy thing to do for like that $2 a day type of thing. So
Yeah.
there are scenarios where we're going to do, but if it's say like I'm doing a lead gen campaign, there's my puppy. If you want like the neighbors are moving and he's not handling it well. So if you have, yeah, you want to generate buyer leads, seller leads, like I would say at least $10 a day. Um, I would probably say like you don't start ever higher than like $20 a day as you're figuring it out. But I think $10 a day is a pretty good idea. If you go below that, it's hard to do any testing to get some results. Hopper, that's enough. Come here. Sorry, I didn't want to. Could you? Was the barking pretty loud?
It's just kind of a weird distorted background sound.
For me, like I can't actually hear anything else when he's going.
Can't even think.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
all.
Yeah, he's fun. So yeah. Yeah. So like if you're doing a retargeting only campaign that's more brand awareness, kind of passive content promotion, you could go as low as $2, $3 a day pretty easily and get success with it. But if your goal is just straight leads, I'd say at least $10 a month. Then the other side is like how you run it. So like if you're gonna hire us, for example, like just sell homes, not us at REM, to run your ads, like our
This,
monthly management fee for ads is 1,250 a month. Like if you're
right.
gonna hire someone like us to do that, you have to at least like spend 1,000 on ad spend because you're not gonna like hire us at 1,250 and spend 300 a month. You
Right.
would like 1,500 and put it into ads and do that. Um, who can run $2 campaign for you? Honestly, you don't want so like because if they're gonna charge your monthly manager fee, like we don't
Yeah.
have an option besides our 1,250, but like as an example, once that what type of one's like set up relatively, it's about as low maintenance as they come. So like I would rather you just learn how to do it and it's not that hard. I mean, shoot us a message and we can maybe just do like a quick training or something like that, and
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
able to show you in 10 minutes to do.
I mean, especially if it's like if you're doing the $2 thing, like whoever you're hiring to do it, you are spending too much money. Like you're spending more money for, you know what I mean?
Well, it
Like you should,
depends. Like, I mean, if they're going to charge you $100 to show you how to do it properly, it's fine.
right, that's fine. No, to show
Yeah.
you how to do it, but if you're
Yeah.
doing it consistently, like all the time, I just
Yeah.
feel like you're
It's
not,
so simple.
yeah.
And then it depends if it's you're doing the same content passively, if you're constantly updating, then yeah, you can hire out to get rid of the time of updating content. Um, I ran $10 campaign and it generated crappy leads on Facebook. Would you say that the leads were shit? Classic. Um, Jen loves my sense of humor and she has to laugh because I'm her boss. Uh, no,
Yep.
so yeah, like literally the reason we have the name of the show is Leisure Shit because we hear this all the time. The short answer is
Oh
most
God.
people when they say that it's because they're expecting prospects when they're generating leads, and there's a difference between lead and prospects. We mentioned this on a bunch of episodes, but I'll repeat it because it comes up a lot. So, there's a difference between a lead and a prospect. A lead, like let's say you're in a room, just like a random group of consumers, and someone hands you a mic, and you go up front of the room and say, "Everybody." So like that room, there's no leads in it yet, right? Like it's all just the general public. So
Mhm.
they hand you the mic, you go up to the front of the room and say, "Hey, everyone, I'm a realtor. You'd like to find out what your home would sell for, put up your hand. Or what your home is worth, put up your hand. So 10 people put up their hand. That's a lead. But you have no idea if they're planning on moving yet. It could be they're trying to fight an assessment. It's just general curiosity because it's an interesting thing. There's so many reasons that they're there. Some people put up their hand, and then when you actually be like, okay, what's your address? They're like, oh, I don't want to give you my address. Right? Like those are the ones who don't answer. There's so many things like that, where you don't know, right? So like a prospect though is, let's say we took those 10 and said, okay, which of you would be moving the next, say, 6 months? If two people keep their hands up, that's a prospect. And that's the type of lead. When most people say leads, that's what they want, is those people who are moving soon and they just call everything else crappy.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just you're kind of getting them too early. Like if we have, this is the general public here, this is a closed client. If you're getting referrals, like at this point in your life, all you've ever generated is referrals, you only have to like, you get the referral, you only have to like get them from here to here. If you get like an open house lead, they have to go from here to here. But if you're getting a Facebook lead, they might be over here and you got to bring them all the way over here to close client. Like that journey's longer, that process is longer. And especially if you're not used to that, because you're like someone who comes into an open house is closer to a sales qualified lead than a marketing qualified lead. Um, so there's a lot of things like that.
Mhm.
Um, and I see your message about, can we have a personal meeting? I'm in King City. We can set up a Zoom. Jen, do you want to just message like privately them my email or something? We'll set up a time and we can
Yes.
jump on with them and chat.
Can you to pin it to the person messaging here, can you just drop your email in the Q&A there and I will grab it and we'll set something up so
Cool.
we can get you set up. That's what we're here for. We just want to help.
We'll take care of it. No charge for that call. We'll help you out. Don't worry. What are the best strategies for engaging with my audience on social media? Questions. Ask lots of questions. All the questions. um, Phil Jones says it best. Questions create conversations. Conversations create opportunities. Opportunities create sales. So just have a lot of conversations. But yeah, like I saw like how I know we talked about this as people in like our Engage program. Like when you go reply to someone's story, a fire emoji doesn't start a conversation. But if you come on and you saw the ate at a local restaurant, be like, oh, what'd you think of that place? Been meaning to try it. And they reply, you can have a conversation with them. And then conversations, like real estate's one of those things. If you have enough conversations with people, it eventually will lead to real estate. Like everyone ends up talking real estate eventually. So same thing here is like just ask questions. So like same with their feed posts, ask them a question, because the other beauty of that is once they respond to you, which most people will answer a question, you're now in their last 50 interactions, which means now they're more likely to see your content going forward, which is a big thing. Um, so yeah, we have that. But yeah, just ask people a lot of questions, respond to stories, respond to
For
posts, ask
conversation.
questions. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if they respond on yours, ask them a question. Literally
Yeah.
just, and if you're stuck, you're like, I don't even know what question to ask them. Go into Chat GPT, give them a little context of, hey, this person just followed me on social. Here's a little bit about what their profile says about them.
Mhm.
Give me 20 ice-breaking questions that I could ask them.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And you could go take a look at their profile and like if they're active on there, you kind of see what they're up to. They go to parks, they go to cafes, they go to places. If there's a park that looks nice, just message them and be like, "Hey, I saw this picture where you went to this park. Like, where is that? I haven't seen that in our area before." Blah blah blah.
Well,
Really just
the
kind of
easiest one as a realtor, right, is if someone follows you, just be like, hey, thanks for following me. You live here too? Like you live in Newmarket too?
yeah.
Right. Like that's the first step of qualifying anyways. Like if they're not a potential client, then whatever. Uh,
Hmm.
but if they live in Newmarket, then you can kind of slowly go down the path with them.
Yeah.
Scott, so all right, what is the best way to manage websites to optimize them? I mean, first you have to ask optimize for what? Like, are you doing SEO, paid ad? Like, I mean, the best option here, again, depends on your budget, is to have someone else manage it, like one of the website companies, because it's a lot of work to properly manage a site.
Oh yeah.
If you're optimizing for SEO, there's kind of the quick and dirty way and then the professional way. And typically I would say like when you're starting out, do the quick and dirty way, which I'll explain. And then after that, you start investing in like proper SEO people. Actually, from an SEO perspective, one of the companies I would look at is actually called the SEO people. I think they're in Ajax. They're great. They do really good work. The quick and dirty way, screenshot your page. So important to know with like SEO is every single page on its own should be like optimized for one specific keyword. So you pick what that keyword is, but your homepage should optimize towards that keyword. So go into ChatGPT, screenshot your website, that page of the website, upload that screenshot to ChatGPT and say, act as the world's best SEO consultant. I'm trying to optimize this page to rank on Google for this topic. I want people on this page to book a 15-minute call with me to talk about selling their home. Rewrite, rank the current page out of 10 and explain your reasoning. Then it'll give you reasons why your page sucks for what that is. Then you say, great, now act like you've been hired as a consultant to rewrite the page, taking those suggestions in mind. Rewrite the page for me. It'll rewrite it, then you put it up. Then you say, now act as a conversion optimization expert. Rate this page out of 10 and tell me what I can do better. Explain your reasoning. Then it does. And then you say, great. Now, with that in mind and with the SEO side in mind, rewrite the page again. And that will get you 99% of the way to a very good homepage.
Yeah.
So super easy. Does
Some
market size determine what you spend on campaign from Lethbridge? Okay, so in Lethbridge, if you can let me know either in Q&A again or somewhere else, how many people are there? So roughly what we look at, if you're doing an ongoing campaign, like something long term, at like $10 a day per 100,000. Oh, so 100,000-ish in Lethbridge. Yeah. So like $10 a day, you're good. Like you're not gonna overspend and like exhaust it too quickly. So for like each campaign, I'd be in that 10. I might, depending on the campaign itself, though, look at like maybe we do the first 2 weeks at 20 just to like get more data in quicker and optimize faster, and then start bringing it down to more where we're gonna have it kind of go from there. Can you send out what you just said about using AI on your website pages? Yeah, that seems like a reasonable request. It's probably hard to remember everything. Yeah. Jen, remind me after to like write that process out.
I screenshot her. Well, there we go.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
I can do that. That's not a problem at all. And if
Mhm.
you're engaged, I see there's a couple engaged members here in the attendees. I'll put it word for word in there as well. So you can get that process, that chain prompt, then you can just copy and paste it. So if you're engaged, that will be there even sooner. Then I'll get it out for everyone else after. Okay. What was the next one there? Oh wait, there we
How do I measure the success of my social media efforts?
go. I think
It depends.
literally is my answer for everything. Everything is it
So,
depends.
what is
Uh,
your goal? What is your goal out
yeah.
of social media, right? If your goal right now is I just need followers, like I have no audience, I need followers, then you're looking at reach, you're looking at, any type of engagement, the likes, the shares, the that kind of thing. If you're looking for engagement where just on your content, the big one is comments and shares. Actually, comments, shares, and saves. Those are the kind of big three. Likes are cool, but they honestly don't do much for you. And then if you want like leads, then it's conversations. It's you're looking at your DMs. How many DMs did I get after posting this or my stories? Or you should be posting a lot of stories if your main thing is DMs. Um, yeah, that's kind of how you take a look at that.
So the way that I would look at it is like if you've been doing it for more than 6 months, it should be clients. Like
Mm,
you're measuring the success of anything you're spending your time on, it's clients.
yeah.
Like at the end of the day, so like we kind of say it's kitchen tables and clients, which is how many kitchen tables did it get you to present your present by your presentation or listing presentation, and then how many of those clients signed. Um, if you've been doing this for like 3 years and you never tracked a client to social, your approach needs to change. So like I mean like when I so like I have a spreadsheet that I track the stats of my social and I track six things: impressions, saves and shares. I just combine those. And then, oh wait, or do I? I have to go back and double check my spreadsheet. Sometimes I
Or
can't.
do I?
Huh. Yeah, impressions, saves and shares, DM or new followers, DMs sent, DMs responded to, and meetings booked.
So there, you've combined the other two because
Yeah,
you
I
make.
definitely combine them. Yeah, because saves and shares I count as one thing. But yeah, so like impressions, obviously, because I just want to make sure I'm still seeing. Because like if
Yes.
the content's doing well, it's going to be seen by more and more people. So as long as my impressions keep going up, I'm doing pretty good.
Mhm.
Um, but then saves and shares tell me that that content is also resonating with people because like they can like it, they can watch it, they could be entertained by it, but they're not gonna if they find real value in what you post, they're either gonna save it or send that to someone. Like I was actually talking about this a lot in Calgary this week with people because we were doing the audits, and everyone obviously is like promoting their listings.
Mhm.
And almost every single person, with the exception of two people that I audited, had no shares on their listings.
Okay.
And like especially your listings. That's because like what that is like someone being like, "Hey, honey, you gotta check this out. We want to see this."
Look at this house. Yeah.
Right? Like you have to be doing that and constantly optimize. So like if you're getting zero shares on your listings, you got to change how you're approaching your listings. Like that is the most important thing. So I would constantly be looking to optimize for those shares. Because again, your listings, that's what you want. That's the reaction you need to have with people there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like if you're not getting clients, change something. But like the six I mentioned, that is kind of what we do. We have like a
Okay.
Google sheet built out, and I just every week, every Monday morning, I go in and update what my numbers are, and then up or down, I basically ask why did that go up or down, and then
Mm.
we look for how we can optimize it and make it better.
Yeah. And it basically answers three questions. Are people seeing my content? The people who are seeing my content, do they care enough to engage with it?
Yeah.
And then beyond that, do they actually want to talk to me and like
Yeah.
have a conversation?
Yeah.
Did I just make a good enough point that um how do you increase your social media reach?
Ads.
Ads.
Yeah,
So,
that's the
so
quick way.
paid ads is the quickest way. If you're looking at organic, you need to be posting. So actually, another question that we have here, how do I stay consistent on social media when I'm busy with clients? So we can kind of go deeper into that. Consistency is key. So you really have to figure out how much time and effort you want to put into social media. So if you want to get the most out of it organically, like not even talking paid ads, you need to be posting like at least 4 to 5 times a week, if not every day. And it needs to be consistent and not like drop a post, walk away. You need to be engaging with people. You need to post in your stories. What you're doing is showing the app that you are committed, that you are trying to create more content for them, and they're going to push that content. But also make sure that you're paying attention to how you're posting your content, keywords. Like, for example, Reels use trending sounds because the algorithm grabs that and pushes harder on it. Just little tricks like that that you kind of have to test out, try the different short and quick, nothing like long and intensive where I feel like I have to sit down with a cup of coffee and a notebook and like figure all this out. Like keep it short and sweet and consistent. That's the big one. You will get more reach. And quality, don't be nonsense. Don't be boring nonsense that everybody else does. Like use what they do because we all copy each other on these apps for sure, no doubt. But like be interesting.
Like what
It's
does
all
R&D stand for? Rip off and duplicate.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like do your thing. Like be yourself on it. Show your personality, show your like what it is
So
your expertise is.
here's a really easy one because I realized today, or this week again, because we were literally just doing a ton of audits and stuff in person with people, is how did
Mhm.
it know about the green screen feature built into Instagram now?
Is it? No, I
Yeah,
knew
it's
that.
now a built-in feature. You didn't know that? You're my social expert, and you
No,
want
I
to
was gonna
use
say
it.
I did knew that. I did know that.
Yeah,
Why am I acting shocked? I knew that.
yeah. It's
Why
like
are
you
you
never
shocked?
knows
How did you
that.
not know that?
So like literally, I don't know if you'll be able to see it that well. Probably not. But anyways, like you can film from here
Mhm.
and you can just take like an image from your camera and make that the background of your post. So like this is what I kept because like everyone I was auditing this week, almost everyone, with the exception of one or two, they were just like screenshotting market stats and putting them up. Or like they screenshot the Bank of Canada interest rate announcements and put it up. Instead, you take that like photo, make it the background, and then just talk about what that means for your area.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, they did this. Here's what that means for you. Super simple post. People locally will be like, oh, I'm curious what that means for us here.
There's a difference between lazy content and efficient content. Lazy content is putting a screenshot up and calling it a day. I don't want to look at that. I probably don't know what it means, or I probably need you to tell me more about what it means. And all you have to do is just get on your phone and be like, hey, this is what this means for you in this area. This is where the market is going. This is what's going on. And it just takes you a little bit longer.
Just pretend you're FaceTiming a friend, talk that way.
Yeah.
Super easy.
That is efficient
Yeah.
quality content, not lazy. Don't be lazy. The algorithm knows it's not going to push it. You will not get reached
Yeah.
with lazy.
And yeah, start testing things out and like for example, the lazy and efficient combo for like promoting a listing. Because if you
Mm,
don't take the time to like go to the listing and shoot a video, yada yada yada,
yeah.
guess it can be hard. Take the photo the photographer sends you,
Yeah.
make that your background,
Yes.
and then talk about it.
Exactly. That's
Like, here's my
efficient.
three favorite things about this listing you see behind me. This is a photo because I was too lazy to drive out to my client's house.
You can do the little pointing thing.
Yeah,
Like,
easy.
it doesn't have to be complicated. It
Yeah.
can be easy, just don't be lazy. So actually, how do I stay consistent on social media when I'm busy with clients? So I think that kind of goes back to create a system. Like do like literally what we just talked about. Just stay consistent. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. And I'm sorry, but like we all have 5 minutes. It doesn't matter how busy you are. You have 5 minutes somewhere. If it's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning, the last thing you do before you go to bed at night, if you have like 5 minutes for a coffee, like just do it. Or collect content. Have some content on you, like
I like
quick little, do it as you're thinking about it. So you film it and then like later you can post it and you can sit down and do it. It doesn't have to be a whole process every day.
so I also I'm not actually a big fan of content banking for myself anymore. Do you know?
Free,
So
okay, yeah.
okay, so I don't know, like I totally see the value in like batching your content in one shot, and I used to do it sometimes. The
Yeah.
reason I don't do it anymore is I find if I try to like batch a bunch of content, if I like go look at it 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, I don't really like that. I don't really want to do that. Maybe I'll try it again and reword it, and I just overthink it. And
Right.
so that's why I now just do a new one every day in the spot. Because then
Mm,
it's like if I it gives me that opportunity to overthink. So now I basically don't think at all. I just come up with
yeah.
a post, shoot it, put the captions on, upload it.
That's awesome. And if that works for you, do it because it's
Yeah.
good quality content, but it's quick, it's
Um,
efficient. You're still providing value, but you're doing it like in your own way that works for you. And for some people, that's bank a ton of content. So for me, I don't like the everyday, quickly, whatever. I love banking. Like I will do what I need to do to bank a bunch of content and then like later on be like, "Ugh, I don't feel like doing it today. Okay, I've got some content banked. How can I tie that into like a trending sound or whatever? And I just like do something quick like that. Um, do you have to do that on Instagram or is there another way to get a picture behind you talking? Can you do that just like on your phone?
I don't think in the built-in camera app. There's definitely apps where you can do that in. I can't.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if like CapCut couldn't do that.
Oh, that's true.
Right, like
But
something
CapCut,
like
can you
that.
film live with
Uh,
CapCut?
I would
I don't-
assume that because I know captions you can film live in it, like record the video in it. I just don't know specifically it
Oh,
has that green screen feature. Like, there's definitely going to be a platform that has it other than Instagram.
yeah.
Um, I just,
Honestly, just do it within the app. So
well,
it
what if
just,
they're doing it? Because like you might be asking for like do then to post somewhere else.
well, okay. So do it in the app and before, okay, my brain stopped. Hold on. So when you film it, edit it, do what you want to do to it. Before you post it, there's going to be a save button. It's a downward arrow with a little line. Hit that save button before you post it. If you save it, it saves it without like the Instagram or the TikTok icon or anything like that. So you can still create it within that app.
Mhm.
Just download it to your phone, then you can post it wherever you want without the icons floating around.
Yeah.
and then post it on Instagram. You can also save it to your drafts if you're not ready to post it yet.
If like something like that, like if you just Google app for shooting green screen videos, like
Yeah.
you'll get options. Pretty
Or
straightforward.
also like you already have an app. Why are you learning a whole new app? You know, just use what you got.
Yeah.
If it's helpful, if you prefer doing the separate app and keeping it all in there, that's cool too. Do whatever floats your boat,
Truth.
you know?
All right, what was the next one there?
I think we had like one more. How can I use video content effectively on social media?
I mean, it depends. Like
Okay.
one, I mean, I'm gonna go on two separate rants here. The first one is you don't always need to do video. Some people just like to read.
I like pictures. I like
Yeah.
reading.
Now, where I'm
Okay,
like, you kind of
but beyond
have
that.
to, yeah. So like sometimes you have to do video, like if you're trying to like take advantage of reels, but like just test out there. Like look at mine. Like all I do is I point the camera at my face and I talk for a minute and then I post it, and it works. We get clients from it.
Also, if we're being realistic, the app is just going to video. It just is what it is. So
Yeah.
I think you should get on video. I'm not saying your life is over. You're not going to get any reach or anything if you don't, but the opportunity for video, the reach that you can get is big. And also, though, you can do reels with images. So, you can play with that. But if we're specifically focusing on video content, specifically, I think the best thing I can say is how can I use video effectively on social media? Work with the app's formatting. So if you want to do a reel, don't be posting like a 10-minute reel. Like you're not going to get the value or the reach or the whatever that you want out of it. That's more, put that on YouTube. In this case, do like 30 seconds max. Give quick, people are on there because they want to scroll quickly. They don't want to commit to a show or a movie. So they're on social media. They want to scroll quickly and keep that in mind when you're creating the content. That's what will make it more effective. No pauses, no like standing around, like quality, quick, valuable. Also, try to grab some trends. So even if it's just a sound that you have in the background, just lower it in the background. Or if there's like a funny trend you can jump on that matches kind of your personality, the business, those don't necessarily sell right off the bat, but people get to know you. And if they like it, they'll follow you. And then if they keep seeing you, when it's time for them to sell, when it's time for them to buy, they go, oh yeah, I follow that realtor online. Let me go check them out again, right? So I think that's the biggest one is really focus on where you're posting. For example, or like if you're doing stories, don't do like a full blown edit for stories. Just jump on really quick. This is what I'm up to. It's gone in 24 hours, right? So keep in mind, just think of the platform you're posting on and like I don't want to say rules, but like the rules around it, like what you should do with that video versus not the do's and don'ts kind of thing. Optimize.
Yeah. And then going back to what we said at the beginning, it all comes back to your ideal client. Know what type of content your client want. Like you will
Yes.
have some people who are more likely to hire you because you're doing stupid TikTok dances. You'll also have some who don't call them stupid TikTok dances.
You
And
know?
then other clients would never hire someone who does little TikTok dances. Like
Facts.
it's different. People have those like it's easy example. Like I know some people who will like she's an easy target here, so we're gonna use it. Kim Kardashian. I know people who like will look down on anyone who like respects her. And I
Right.
know other people who are like, she is a brilliant marketer and business person who we shall respect, and I look down on anyone who doesn't respect what she's accomplished.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like those are very different people,
Mhm.
very different kind of approaches, and you have to know which one's like your client and what they want to see, what type of content resonates with them. Like when I did a post when I was in real estate about like 7 things Tyrion Lannister can teach you about buying a home. That is a very specific audience that's going to appeal to.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
another example which we've used, like when I was doing over a pint more, like we'd get the odd person who'd complain we're promoting alcoholism.
Yeah.
All
That is
right.
not our audience.
Yeah. Like
Nope.
didn't care
That'll
at
do
all.
not care. Yeah.
No.
And that's another thing too. Don't care. Do
Yeah.
not care.
Gave me a good chuckle though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Thoughts on Bomb Bomb? Is it worth the 33 a month? Uh,
Can you
do you know?
re-explain Bob to me? Because I feel like I heard about this when I first started working here and then I never really did again.
Yeah, it's not as popular as it used to be. Basically, what it is it's video in emails. So, like you can email someone a
Right.
video.
Okay.
So like when it first came out, like the video would almost be like embedded in the email, and then like that stopped being a thing, and then it was like a GIF. But basically, there's like a thumbnail from the video. They click on it, they watch the video.
Right. Can
It-
you not just do that with your phone, like through email?
yeah.
Okay.
So like I'll give you an example.
What?
This is
No.
like 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago,
Okay.
whatever. I was too cheap to pay 33 or whatever the price was back then for BombBomb. So I just uploaded my videos as unlisted on YouTube and then screenshot the thumbnail and put that in the thing and said, click that to watch my video. So BombBomb has some legitimate, really great uses. So the analytics on it are better. So every time someone watches it, how much do they watch it? Do they
Okay.
rewatch it? You do get all that, and you can even be notified of it. There's
Okay.
automations that are built in. So like if you are going to be sending regularly videos to your clients, it can give you interesting data, but that only matters if you're going to be taking advantage of that data and doing
Right.
something with it. It can make your life a little bit easier because it's like really quick to send it off instead of having to like upload to YouTube. Grab the unlisted link, go take a screenshot, embed that in your email. This smoothens out the
Wow.
process. So if you're going to send regular emails, yeah, it can definitely be worth it. Uh,
Yeah.
is it going to be worth it for everyone? And then just on this topic, because it annoys some people, and it's not as much as it used to be. Like when BombBomb first was becoming all the rage, everyone would like be like, every email I send out is video now. I'm like, sometimes an email should just be the showing's confirmed for two. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be a video of you being like, hey John, just wanted to let you know
Join.
we've confirmed the show. I don't want to read. Just write
No.
it out.
Yeah.
I get really
Yeah.
heated on that one because I would get really annoyed. It's like I personally get really annoyed when someone texts me a voice note. I can't stand them. Like I just want to read it. I don't want
Yeah.
voice notes. I know other people they go the
Especially
other
if
way.
I'm doing text and then they just start doing voice notes and then I still do text and they continue with the voice notes. I'm
Yeah.
like, stop.
I'm not a voice note guy. And
Me
but I know
neither.
other people that's how they exclusively communicate over text.
Yeah.
If you send me a voice note, like if you're I don't know you, I will listen and I will do it. If you're a friend of mine and I can talk more bluntly, I will sometimes say, yeah, I'm not listening. Just tell me what it is.
Right. Okay.
Like,
So,
hey,
okay. So Bomb is that like for regular emails that you're sending out to your clients, or is it more like for newsletters or something like that?
it's a mix. So like they recommend like some people do it newsletters, but they also recommend like lead conversion. You get a new lead in instead of like sending an email like, hey, how are you? Like, are you
Right.
looking to buy a home or whatever your standard script is? You do
Okay.
that with an email because it's more personable, makes you approachable. And yeah, like it can certainly help boost conversion rates because they know you're a real person, they get to know you. But like the other side of it, there's also a percentage of people if they've never met you before and they get a video being like, hi Jen, how are you? It's me, Andrew. You filled out a form on my website. Some people are like, it's a little much.
It's a
So like
lot.
I think it does improve conversion rates, but it's also a lot of work.
I feel like either if you want the stats, do Bomb. If you don't care about the stats and you just want to send videos out, just do it with your phone.
And like I think right now, if you were to send a video like that, you'd probably have a way better open and response rate if you just texted it to them.
That's the thing, right? With the like with text, with DMs and stuff now, like, do you need Bomb? Like again, if the
I mean, you
stat
don't need any
analytics are
one
nice.
tool. Like, I think BombBomb, if you're gonna send videos out regularly and the stats are helpful to you, it's worth it.
Mhm.
If you're
Yeah.
not gonna send regular videos or not take advantage of like the analytics and all that, it's not gonna be worth it. Now curious to know how effective is email campaigns? The most effective. So like
Still for us with social media, with like even access to ads with REM, like advertorials, everything, newsletters are still the biggest way for
yeah,
us to
like
get.
if you look at REM traffic to our website, it's email.
Yeah.
Like
No,
every spike,
so true.
we sent the email. Uh,
Email's the biggest one.
like email is still the highest ROI in digital marketing activity. So like when we talk about like sending DMs on social and driving as many people as you can to send DMs, you're still going to try to get them to your database eventually where you also
Yeah.
send out emails. Like I
Mm.
think every agent should be minimum sending a weekly email out.
Well, and I think especially like anybody who's busy, right? they don't want to have to go back to social media to go looking for your stuff. So if it's just sent to them in their
Yeah.
inbox, so much easier. And then they just check in. They're like, oh, it's my morning check-in, see my emails. Like I think that's just why people, it's like delivered to them instead of
Yeah.
them having to go look somewhere
But,
else, you know?
email's great. Do
Yeah.
it more. It's
Highly
generally just almost everyone in this industry, with the exception of maybe like Chuck Charlton, is not doing enough email.
recommend.
He
Oh,
sends out 5 days a week. So
you are very welcome for our insights.
yeah. What else do we got?
Are we just like
Um,
smart cookies? Do we just like know what we're doing?
I mean, in this one very small realm of the world.
No.
That's it though. Um,
We write a damn good email.
we don't know much.
Oh my gosh, that's too
Yeah.
funny.
Well, that is actually all the questions.
And like right on time.
Ooh, we have five. Like, all right. There's five
Five
minutes
minutes.
left. If anyone has a couple extra questions, we can certainly stick around for the extra 5 minutes. As a reminder, this will go on the REM YouTube channel, either tomorrow or Monday, I would assume, depending on when our team gets to it.
Hey,
Uh,
we only swore once, and it was for the title of the show.
Hey-oh. What, do you have
Good
something
job for
in
us.
that right now?
What?
Do you have something tracking that right now? Or you just
No,
remember?
I just remember last week we swore a lot, and then I was like, oh, poor Aaron, who's gonna edit
So
this,
much
who's going
editing to
to
do.
not swear.
So we just started the last like 3 minutes just dropping F-bombs.
Oh, God.
So like I said, so next week Taylor Hack is back and we are gonna talk more. I think we're gonna start going more into dissecting his business and then looking at ways to improve it, and then he'll be reporting back on how those impacted his business, basically. So it should be fun. Otherwise, if you guys have questions for us,
Time.
like social media questions, especially, reach out to us at Just Sell Homes. Like that's literally all we do is we help people with this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime you want, come reach out.
I'll put my email in the chat.
Yeah. Otherwise, this is
Go for
like,
it.
all right, I was gonna say this part of the episode sponsored by Just Sell Homes.
Okay,
You
that's
just
Andrew's
Yeah, you
face.
just sent that to
I'm
me.
signed into his account. Oh, I sent it to you. I don't
Yeah,
have the. Oh wait, no, I do have the.
rookie. Just a rookie.
I am, but okay, it's gonna be Andrew's face. I'm signed into his account. I obviously am prettier.
Yeah.
Just
What's trending? Um,
trending.
it's a very broad question, Aspen.
Listen, ask me this morning, ask me this afternoon. Things change. No,
Yeah.
truly, 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 truly. So it's like if you're part of something like our engage group or whatever, where we tell you at the beginning of every week, like here are the sounds that are trending, or we'll let you know, like here's a reel that's trending that you should totally jump on and kind of do the same thing. But the best way is to just spend a little bit of time on social media and look up the people that are posting the type of content you should be posting, not that you want to see, the you should be posting for your audience, and see what they're engaging with, seeing what's trending there. Because that's the thing, like, there are like subdivisions within each app. So like if we're just looking at TikTok, there's mom talk, there's book talk, there's like home, like I don't know, home talk, whatever. There will be different things trending within those categories. So you need to go and find the category that you need to spend time in and take a look at that. But each app will have trending sounds. Instagram, an easy one. If you're scrolling through, the sound will be written at the bottom. If you see an arrow pointed upwards, that is trending. You should jump on it. The app is pushing it more. But otherwise, yeah, you just kind of have to spend some time on the app or chat with us and we'll let you know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you around. Thanks for filling in for Taylor again.
Oh, I almost said anytime, but that would have been a regret. I'm just kidding. This is fun. I like chatting. So anytime.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's fun. I think you just dread going up to it. Then once you get going, you actually seem to enjoy it, or you're really good at faking. Um,
Tell the people.
you're gonna get off like, oh, that was the worst thing ever.
Listen, I dropped my email. I'm genuinely happy to help. Genuinely. That doesn't sound honest, but I swear to
It
God, I'm being
really did
honest.
not. That
It
was
really didn't. It's just you built me up to, I'm just joking. Please don't email me. And I swear, email me. It's fine.
all
We will help.
right. I appreciate everyone taking the time to spend time with us. We'll see you next week. Taylor is back, and we're both going to be here for a while. I think I missed the one on Halloween, so that's like
Cool.
a month away. So we're good. Otherwise, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.